Good afternoon. It's Tuesday. We're heading towards the cross. And today we're highlighting, the text highlights for us some of the teachings of Jesus. And as we read a little bit of that and we ponder and we think about, it's always good to slow down and think about the teachings of Jesus. What are the things that he said? How are we responding to the things that he is teaching and continues to teach via his word? And so that's what we're seeing here. He's going to be telling some parables. He's going to call some people out. So it starts with the parable of the wicked tenants, about a man planting a vineyard, and he wanted to get some of the fruit, but they beat him up and they beat the next guy up, and the owner sends his son. And so instead of recognizing and holding on to the son as someone connected to the owner, they decide to kill the son. And so Jesus asks the question in verse 15, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? And he will come and destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard this, they said, surely not. But he looked directly at them. What then is it this that is written? The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces, and when it falls on anyone, it will crush him. See, for us, we're reading that and go, oh yeah, that's pretty powerful. For the religious people, as they're listening to this and they're interacting with Jesus, they're recognizing he's talking about them. So they're looking for a way to trap Jesus, a way to have something to pin on him so that they could deal with him. So verse 19, the scribes and the chief priests sought to lay hands on him at that very hour. They perceived that he told this parable against them. Very perceptive. It was. But they feared the people. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be sincere, that they might catch him in something he said, so as to deliver him up to the authority and jurisdiction of the governor. So they asked, Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightfully, and show no partiality, but truly teach the way of God. Is it lawful for us to give tribute to Caesar or not? But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, Show me a denarius. Whose likeness and inscription does it have? And they said, Caesar's. And he said to them, Then render to Caesar the thing that are Caesar's, and to God the thing that are God's. They were not able in the presence of the people to catch him in what he said, but marveling at his answer, they became silent. They're trying to trick him up and to trip him up so that they can bring him before Pilate and say, look, he's causing these problems. He's saying these things about the Roman Empire and about the government. The next little section is the Sadducees trying to talk about the resurrection because they don't believe in that. And so they ask this absurd question about a man and his wife, and when he dies and his brother comes and he dies and his brother comes and he dies. And so what's the plan after that? Jesus, verse 34, the sons of this age, you can underline it, marry and are given in marriage. But those who are considered worthy to attain to that age, that's the eternal, and to the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. For they cannot die in marriage because they are equal to angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But that the dead are raised, even Moses showed in the passage about the bush, where he calls the Lord the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He's not God of the dead, but of the living. For all live to him. And some of the scribes answered, Teacher, you have spoken well. For they no longer dared to ask him any question. He's going to give a warning about the scribes here in this chapter as well. What's Jesus' point in all this? Not just to make them mad. Not for us to go, man, he got them good. Right? If we're saying this is happening on or about Tuesday of Holy Week, he's bringing them to a point and a place in time where what? They have to make a decision. That's what he does. Right? He gives us free will, but he offers himself. He says, here am I. What are you going to do with Jesus? The Sadducees, they can't get their mind around this resurrection deal. And so there's a stumbling block. The Pharisees think that they've got a handle on the law, but Jesus talks about love and grace. And so they got a block. What about today? What about you? What about me? What about us as believers as we walk with the Lord? How do we take the words of Jesus as they are, the words of God, or as suggestions? Words that are suggestions cause respect and cause people to back off, but they don't involve surrender. So let's be careful of just sort of reading to get through or talking about the things of Jesus without wanting to follow through on what he says. Allow the words of Jesus to sink deep, to cause that life change and transformation that only he can bring. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a great day.